to engage in thoughtful discussions on several key topics that are central to our work as senators. This will include a review of the senators' performance and output during the first 3 sessions, which will entail taking stock of our achievements and challenges over the past 3 sessions. I look forward to an in-depth assessment of our role in processing business in both plenary and committee settings. By identifying success, bottlenecks, and lessons learned, we can better understand how to enhance our effectiveness in the 4th session. As we look at the key issues in devolution and intergovernmental relations, I would like to take this opportunity to warmly welcome the Council of Governors, County Assemblies Forum, State Department for Devolution, the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee, the offices of the Auditor General, and control of budget, as well as representatives from various commissions. As the Senate, we can attest to immense contribution that these offices have made in advancing the dream of devolution. I'm hopeful that the meeting of mind as we identify legislative gaps and priority areas for intervention, ensuring that devolution continues to thrive. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm confident that this forum will renew our commitment to our roles as senators, a clear understanding of the challenges we face, and a strategic plan for addressing them. We will leave here a shared vision for the 4th session, a one that is focused on enhancing the Senate's effectiveness in fulfilling its constitutional mandate. As we engage in robust discussions and deliberations during this retreat, let us keep in mind the ultimate goal of devolution is to improve the lives of our people. We must remain focused on the principles of accountability, transparency, and public participation. Our constituencies have entrusted us with their aspirations, and it is our duty to fulfill those aspirations with unwavering dedication and commitment. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I once again extend my appreciation for choosing Nakuru County. It is a county that is not only blessed with a diverse population, but also with unique man-made and natural geographical sites that are a source of pride for our people. I implore each one of you to take some time out of your busy schedules and experience the breathtaking beauty and rich heritage that our county has to offer. From the magnificent Lake Nakuru National Park, home to an abundance of wildlife and the famous flamingos, to the awe-inspiring Menengai crater, Okayo Janadamo, which is currently ranked 7th in the world and contributes at 5 megawatts of clean energy, amounting to 42.2% of the national grid. They are all present an opportunity for exploration and ensure. I will not forget to invite you to exciting WSR Safari Rally 2025 series that will kick off on 20th to 23rd March 2025. For your information, Nakuru County provides the best location and destination for the sports and entertainment event, voted for as the best WRC Safari Rally in the world, courtesy of the International Automobile Federation. In 2022, the WRC Safari Rally recorded a global viewership of about 80 million, and media report from last year's competition still waited. This year, the shakedown will be held at a sleeping Moran in Gilgil sub-county. This is the most exciting part of the event, where 2 cars run side by side. The prize giving area this year will be held at the Hell's Gate National Park, where the guests of honor will be HE President Dr. William Ruto. Nakuru County indeed has something for everyone. Finally, honorable senators, as we embark on this retreat, let us focus on our duty to ensure that we uphold the principles of devolution, accountability, and transparency and may our collective efforts further strengthen the revolution for the benefit of all Kenyans. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Thank you, Senator Keroche. Now would like to invite the Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Enoch Wambua.
So to God we give all the glory. Honorable Speaker, I will accept the invitation by the clerk to write on the protocols that he established so that I try to save on time. Good morning, colleagues.
Good morning.
The Speaker, I don't have a written speech, and I like it that way. We are here at a very critical moment in our own career as leaders in the Senate. We must begin to realize, perhaps actually begin to get worried, that we've already done halfway, and the remaining half, colleagues, is much, much shorter than the first half, especially in relation to legislative business. So if there is things that senators wanted to do, please, let's get done with them the shortest time possible, because a lot of time now will be spent on the ground. Mr. Speaker, I will address myself to only two broad issues. One is on warfare issues, and then touch a bit on committees, and that will be done. On the positive side, the first session, the first half, has really been a good time to some extent for the institution of the Senate. Remember, Mr. Speaker, as the clerk said, the time that we finally rolled out the oversight fund, which had remained elusive for the longest time. It's the Senate, under your leadership, the Speaker, that has rolled out that fund. Of course, there have been challenges here and there, and I hope that in the fullness of time, then those issues will completely be resolved and we move forward. I've also noted on a positive side that this is the Senate so far that we have witnessed greater visibility for the nominated senators led by Kewasa. The nominated senators this time round have really, really been very visible. Some of us, for some reason, may not have liked what they are doing or the way they are doing it, but give it to them, they've really been visible. And it's a good thing. Continue pushing the limits. In politics, nothing is given to you. You've got to fight for it. Lastly, on the positive side, I think the senators, as a family, we've done well. Honestly, we've done well. As a family, we've done well. I've seen commitment to issues affecting colleagues, be it weddings, be it when barriers, and as we speak, our colleague Senator Kenywa has lost his dad. So in the same spirit that we have stood with other colleagues, let's remember to stand with Senator Kenywa. And I must tell you, this Senate so far, in terms of standing with their colleagues, you guys have done very well. Congratulations. The Speaker, on the dark side, because there is always a dark side to everything, I think in terms of travel so far, we have sunk to the lowest. And if we don't confront these issues as senators in this sitting, then we would just be playing games with ourselves. This is the first time that I have seen senators being bundled into vehicles to travel to as far as Dodoma for official engagement, left there, and then cars will come much later to pick them. Those are issues that we want to discuss when that time comes. It's about you. It's about your warfare. In terms of committees, I must also admit, whereas there are some committees that have done pretty well, truth be told, we're not doing very well overall in terms of committees. There are committees whose businesses are literally stuck. There's one committee that I don't want to mention, the Speaker. We have more than 200 pending statements. And I wonder how much time really whether we even have time to process that business, and seeing as it were that more business is also piling up. On the relationship between senators and the Secretariat, good people, again, this is a Senate that I have seen physical confrontation between Secretariat and members. We will need to deal with that, because from where I sit, the gap was always that the distance was always there. People always kept their distance. But this time round, I've seen ugly confrontations. While we're here, let's deal with that. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, I have heard from my colleagues, these ones who are seated here. If I see them looking at me and wondering, are you going to be completing without saying that thing? No, I'm saying it. Mr. Speaker, while we are here, and I know you have guests, these people, these leaders, these senators, would want to have a very candid conversation with the office of the Speaker in terms of where the Speaker stands, where members of the Speaker's panel stand, especially on issues that are divisive. Because there are issues that are divisive, there are issues where we can't build consensus, and that's a point that we must look up to the Speaker to give direction to the House. The Speaker, there is an ease among members that perhaps the office of the Speaker is taking directions that leave a section of the House feeling like they have no father. So those are issues that we'll discuss here. Lastly, members, we will have done ourselves great disservice. We'll have done this country great disservice if we meet here. When the National Assembly met, I think for them, they ran away with the Shah conversation, national conversation on this Shah. I hear the Shah is here. While we are here, and I want to thank Senator Asige, because she tried to push for a special sitting of the Senate to discuss the whole issue of abductions. That did not happen, but we are here. We cannot run away from it. Let's deal with these issues. We are leaders. Let's give direction in this country. And to God again, we continue to give glory. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
A better applause, especially for the good bits that we have done as the Senate. No, you actually commended us for doing well in some, and I'm saying we need to clap for ourselves in regard to that. But everything you said is absolutely important. Next speaker is Senator Justice Retired Stewart Mazayo. Karibu sana, Senator.
Asante sana dadangu Muma, Senator. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Speaker, Amazon Jeffer Kingi, my dear colleagues, all protocols observed. Good morning and Happy New Year. It is with great privilege and honor that I am happy to see you again after a very busy schedule of Christmas and New Year and many other activities. Our retreat today embodies the theme, Shaping the Senate's Legacy, Strategy, and the Path Forward, a critical reflection of our constitutional journey and a pivotal opportunity for strategic planning as we approach the fourth session of the Senate. As we review our work during this midterm assessment, we must ask ourselves, have we lived up to the expectations of the Kenyans? Are we effectively representing the interests of the counties and their citizens? As we hold the executive to account, are we holding the executive